Power of the Primes was mostly mediocre to bad. But let's be real, it absolutely cooked with the Terrorcons, as Rippersnapper and Blot easily shows how the scramble style of combining is vastly superior to that fruity-ass skeleton future generations are forced to endure. As robots, they look like late season 3 characters, aka generic as hell. However, their expressions have been given hyper mean and ugly detail that won't hesitate to take your lunch money even though you brought last night's leftovers. In fact, if Blob was given rotating wrist and ankle pivots, these two would have been close to being given Unification Era articulation. It's debatable if we would have gotten Unification Era conversions because the combiner boards are still here, therefore still sharing the strut legs from every other figure discussed this week. However, what makes them diverse is, oddly enough, pulling down their monster legs and making the littlest of changes to the hands, creating abominations that'll feast upon your worst nightmares and replace them with a fourth Trump presidency. The fuck you mean for? We got a walking RoboShark with dual lasers and Razor Shark teeth that chomp on the living flesh before it's devoured by its normal robot head, and okay, John Warden says he's an ogre, but I've always interpreted Blot as an offspring of a hunchback and a pit bull. Either way, he has big meaty claws, a short temper, and no mouth movement. Seriously, the Prime Legion figure had a goblin mode that was more cohesive, but made an okay leg and a non-existent arm. So on that note, both of them as combiner limbs are fine. The monster heads are maneuvered in ways that make them cohesive, so there's nothing really to complain about. I guess if you were missing a combiner head and was super desperate, you could make Rippersnapper into a knife hand. It's limp and not beating the bike mode's wrist saw. While Rippersnapper and Brock don't bring anything new to the Prime Wars style of combining, they easily destroy their competition by having the most ridiculous yet fascinating beast modes I've ever seen, even tossing most of Kingdom's roster in the dangerous waters. If you come across them at a convention or on eBay, they are an absolute solid recommendation.